So you want to learn how to make early 2000s 50 Cent type beats from scratch? Well, look no further, because in this video I'm going to show you exactly how to make these kind of beats. I'm going to show you how you can make the melody, the drums, and how to arrange these beats. And by the end of this video, you'll be able to make beats just like this. So let's get into it. So for this beat, I started with 105 BPM. And I started with a counter melody first. So for the counter melody sound, I went for this harpsy in the box sound from Repro 5, I think it is. And I went with this counter melody in the key of F sharp minor. So it sounds a bit random, but I've got chords lined up with this as well that makes it make sense. I've just got this repeating with a few minor adjustments to keep it interesting. And then for the chords, I started off with the same harpsy in the box sound, and I just laid down these chords, just changing them here and there, and then using the F note to give a nice sound and have it resolve back to the standard F minor triad. It's a very simple progression. I just started with the F minor triad and then just moved notes up and down until I got a progression I like the sound of. And in the second half, I just added more notes to the chords just to give it a bigger and fatter sound. And then again from Repro 5, I got this just standard harpsichord preset, and I layered the exact same chords, but I've put the velocity all the way down just to give it an extra bit of layer to the sound. I then got this AZ finger pluck sound again from Repro and layered those same chords again. With 50 Cent beats, you want to layer the chords, get a big fat sound, because then you can always take away for the verses and stuff, but you want a big fat sound. And then for the last chord layer, I got these JH steel drums again from Repro 5 and copied and pasted the same chords again. The next thing, I wanted to add another counter melody just so that the other one isn't overplayed. I found this AZ Arborea preset in Repro 5 and I laid down this very simple pattern. It's a very simple but catchy pattern, and it works really well with the chords. The next thing I did was I added this organ preset, and I just added some quick short chords at the end of each bar just to, again, make the chord progression a bit more interesting. And then I added these string staccato from Xenology, and again, at the end of every other bar, I added some big chords just to lead back into the main F sharp minor chord. And then the last thing for the melody was I added this essential hip hop sub, and I laid down a very simple pattern. So altogether, this is what the melody sounds like. Then what I did is I exported the melody, and I went into here and I brought it up by 40 cents, which is less than half a normal semitone. I just put it up 40 just because it gave it a bit more of a original, interesting sound than a standard key. Then I started on drums. I've got this very simple bouncy kick pattern which pretty much plays throughout the whole beat. I just wanted a very continuous pattern just to keep your head nodding. I then layered a clap and a snare playing the exact same notes. I added this second clap on every other bar, just add a bit of bounce. I also added this perk in every other bar just before the second clap in the second bar. I then found some perk loops that I chopped up and added in, and this is what the drums sound like together. So honestly, it's very simple. I didn't want to go too crazy. Drum bounce is simple enough to keep your head nodding, but also doesn't get too boring. In terms of the arrangement, I've got a short 8-bar intro, followed by a 16-bar hook. As you can see, I've got the instruments still here, so you can see what I've done. I've got rid of the harpsichord melody in the first part, but I've brought the lead counter melody in the second part of the first 8 bars. And I took that out and the pluck and brought the harpsichord melody in. I've got this big cut in the drums before the initial drop. And throughout the hook, I've got these scratches playing here, a stomp, and some risers going in and out of the hook. And then I've got a 16-bar verse. Again, I've gotten rid of that harpsichord melody throughout most of it. I've brought the lead in a little bit more, but I've pitched some of the chords up and down just to give it a bit more of a different sound. I got rid of the second clap, perk, and some of the perk loops. Got some scratches in, some sound effects, and some more risers to go back into the hook. But that's honestly it for this beat. It's very simple. Doesn't need to be too crazy. We'll take a listen from the start and see what we think. So we've got just the instrument to start, the chords. Got the perk loops in before the hook. Got a riser going to the hook, got a big cut in the drums. Sounds like a proper dark 50 Cent beat. Got that harpsichord counter melody in this part. Riser going to the verse. Just got that lead playing. Got rid of a lot of the drums. Loads of space here. And in the second part of the verse, I brought in one of the perk loops. Slowly bringing the energy back in before the hook. Got the riser going back into the hook. So that's it for this video. If you like it, then leave a like and subscribe. I'll catch you next week.